If you're interested in selling digital products on Etsy, it can be a little overwhelming to figure out which types of products to create. Well, you're in the right place because today I'm going to show you 5 low competition ideas that are bringing in consistent sales that are, for the most part, fairly easy to make and have less competition than some other types of digital products. Let's jump in. Okay, so here we are on Etsy, and the first product we're going to be talking about today is Teacher Appreciation Printable Pages. So essentially what these are is a printable page that is all about thanking your child's teacher. So you can print these out at home, and then your child can fill in their responses to all of the prompts, and then they would bring it in to give to their teacher to thank them for being a great teacher, which I think is a really cute idea. And there's tons of best sellers here, as you can see, and is a category that's probably not quite as saturated as some other ones. So I'm going to take you through a few examples of some best sellers in this category to take a better look. So first we have this one that says, "Thank you for being my amazing teacher," and these great kind of colorful letters. And then it says, "My favorite thing about you is you are the best teacher because I will always remember how you," and so on. And then your child would just write in their responses to each of those prompts and bring it into their teacher with their name at the bottom. So very cute, very easy to make one of these. It is quite popular right now. It's got 20 plus views in the last 24 hours. It's selling for Canadian $4.27. And let's have a look at their EverBee stats here. So it's been up for 26 months, so a little over 2 years, and has had over 1,400 total sales, and is bringing in a monthly revenue of $378 with about 100 sales per month. So pretty nice income for a low ticket digital item, and again, something pretty easy to make yourself in Canva or something like that. Our next example is a super cute one. It just says "thank you" up at the top in this kind of arched text here, and has all of these prompts here. "You are the best teacher because you helped me learn. My picture for you," they can draw like a cute little picture, "and my favorite thing about you is ... and then they would put their name at the bottom. So again, this one has this kind of childlike whimsy to the design where the lettering is all kind of like hand lettering, and there's lots of fonts you can choose on, like Canva for instance, that would help you create something with this sort of hand-drawn look to it. This is in 17 baskets right now. Quite a low ticket price of $1.76 Canadian, but let's have a look at their EverBee stats here. So again, this has been up for just a little over 2 years, has had almost 500 sales, and is bringing in a monthly revenue of $40 with about 24 sales per month. So not mind-blowing money here, but I believe this is one of those stores that probably has hundreds of listings, and if they have a few bestsellers like this, nice little income for something, again, that is quite easy to make. Our next example is this one. It says "all about my teacher" by, and then the child will put their name here, and again, a list of prompts where they would just fill in their answers and maybe do a cute little drawing or something here, and then bring it into their teacher. So let's have a look at the EverBee stats on this one. A little over 2 years it's been up, again, has over 1,400 sales, and is bringing in a monthly revenue of about $43. Again, not mind-blowing money, but these do add up when you've got quite a few listings in your shop. It's got about 11 sales per month. And the last one is one of the biggest bestsellers I found, so I'm saving it for last here. It is very similar to one of the other examples where it has this "thank you" up at the top and this kind of arched text, a space for the teacher's name, and then these prompts inside of these little kind of hand-drawn vignette type things where the child would just fill in their answers. And this one is quite a big bestseller here. Let's have a look at the EverBee stats here. Again, a little over 2 years. These listings take time to gain some steam, so keep that in mind. These probably won't start making you tons of money right away, but after a couple years, these can really start to fly. So as you can see, this has had a total of 12,400 sales in those 2 years, is bringing in a monthly revenue of almost $4,000 with almost 1,000 sales per month, which is mind-blowing. And even though it is a fairly low ticket item in terms of the pricing, again, it's $284 Canadian, that really adds up once it starts to fly and can really bring in a great revenue. And I love this product because I think this is fairly easy to make, and to my mind, something that would be very fun to make as well. I'm going to just show you a couple of the other images in the listing. So they have a picture of the product in a frame as well. A few different framed images just to show what it would look like in different settings. But again, a fairly easy listing to put together as well. So I think this would be a great low competition digital product to get into. And again, pretty fun to design. So let's move on to the next one. The next product we're looking at is digital planners. And you might be thinking, low competition planners? What? And yeah, it's true, this is a very saturated category. But what I will say about saturated categories is that they're saturated because they're very much in demand. So don't let that scare you. And you might also be thinking easy to make, not so much. And I agree with you. This is probably the more complex design on my list today. And usually that's because these take some time to make. They're usually bundles of dozens, if not hundreds of pages put together. But each page in and of itself is not that hard to design. It would just take some time and some planning to put together a listing like this. But what I want to talk about today specifically is hyper-specific digital planners like this one, ADHD executive functioning. So that's basically what we're going to be looking at, is within this digital planning niche, hyper specific categories. And today I'm going to focus on that ADHD digital planner. So here is an example. This is the ADHD Planner Digital, and it's basically a planner that makes things really simple for people with ADHD to use and to help them function and study and move through life smoothly. So I'll show you some of the listing details here. It has yearly templates, monthly templates, daily planners with links to Google Calendars. Again, this is a listing that's going to take some studying and some learning to be able to make, but these are so popular on Etsy. I think that would be time well spent if this is a category you're interested in getting into in the digital product world. Very much worth spending some time to learn those skills. Here's some other looks at what's included, and it looks like there's about 130 templates included with the planner. So again, that's a lot, but if you look at some of the pages, they're quite simple designs. There's not a lot going on a lot of these pages, and there are templates on Canva that you can tweak and help you get started with a product like this. It's in 20 plus baskets right now, fairly low ticket. It's only $1.42. Let's have a look at the EverBee stats here. It's only been up for 10 months, so less than a year, and it's already had 850 sales, which is a really good sign for a new listing, and is bringing in, even with that super low ticket price, a monthly revenue of about $240 with about 60 sales per month. So that's doing pretty well for a fairly new listing. Here is another example of an ADHD planner. It's called the Challenge A Planner. It's got about 243 pages, ADHD friendly and customizable. Let's have a look at some of the listing photos here. So this is what it includes. Again, 243 pages. Sounds intimidating, but if you put together a listing like this, take some time to do that, and it starts selling super well, it will definitely pay off for you. Each week has helpful checklists and daily planners, so there's a glimpse of some of the things that are included. And this is in 20 plus baskets right now, so very much in demand. Let's have a look at the EverBee stats here. It's only been up for 3 months, and has already had 114 sales, already bringing in $147 monthly revenue and about just under 40 sales a month. So this is doing super well for a new listing. Another niche you could get into in this realm is homeschool planners. So instead of ADHD, this is a different take, but for homeschooling, which I think is really a great category and probably a little bit underserved right now. So it's got 400 pages. Again, it's going to take an investment of time and effort to make a listing like this, but each page should be fairly easy to make. It's just spending the time to put them all together into a package. So here's a glimpse at some of the pages in the package here. And I like this little reading challenge. There's a 30-day challenge, this kind of bookshelf design where maybe you're keeping track of all the books that you've read over the time frame of the year. This is in 20 plus baskets right now, very much in demand, very low ticket, $1.29 Canadian. Let's have a look at the EverBee stats. This has been up for 15 months, so just over a year, has already had over 500 sales and is bringing in about $227 a month revenue with about 60 sales per month. So as you can see, there is a lot of room for success within the digital planning area. You just have to kind of be smart and niche down a little bit to find your own zone and your own way to make best sellers for yourself. Next up is wedding table number signs. And the wedding niche in the digital product realm is very saturated. Basically, any wedding product, physical or digital, is pretty saturated on Etsy. But again, it's because it's very much in demand and kind of a perennial bestseller for a lot of shops on Etsy. But I think there is room to really niche down and get hyper specific about the type of digital product you're offering. So going beyond wedding invitations or thank you cards into something like this, which is table signs. So let's have a look at some examples here. The first one we have here could not be more simple to make. It just requires finding a really beautiful, elegant font and putting together this super simple design that literally just says table and then the different numbers of tables for the wedding guests. And let's have a look at some examples. So you can edit the text and the font style and the color. You can change the background, etc. It has 2 sizes available, which would probably be a good idea to include that, and some instructions and a couple more installation examples. So this is in 20 plus baskets right now, very low ticket item at $1.42. Let's have a look at the EverBee stats here. This has been up for 66 months, so quite a while. This is not a new listing, but it's had over 400 sales with a monthly revenue of $23 and about 18 sales per month. So for something that's that simple to make, not a bad little income for that. Let's have a look at another one. This one is a little more complex. It is a photo table number sign. So as you can see, there's photos of the couple that are inlaid in the sign here. Let's have a look at some of the other photos here. Here's a version of it in a frame. The couple could choose to put frames on the tables as well. And you can just edit this at home. I believe this one is using, yes, template. I haven't tried that myself, but I've noticed a lot of sellers, instead of using Canva, are using template as a way to offer listings that are editable and customizable for customers. Let me know in the comments if you've used template. I'm really curious about it. But again, something that the customer can just edit themselves at home to put their own photos in and change the font and the color, etc. themselves. This is in 20 plus baskets. This is a little higher ticket. It's $5.75 each Canadian. Let's have a look at the EverBee stats. This has been up for 18 months, has had 1,268 sales with a monthly revenue of $544, averaging about almost 70 sales per month. So pretty nice income. And again, that's in 20 plus baskets, very much in demand. this is another one. This is a trifold version. And again, it has this kind of minimalist look to it with a nice kind of script font, a really elegant number here, and very elegant sans serif font for the couple's names at the bottom here. Let's have a look at some other photos. So this one has a little bit more going on in a way because it's a trifold. So they have the table number and the couple's name on the front. Then they have a menu on one of the sides of the trifold, and then a welcome and thank you side with a QR code at the bottom. So a little more complex, but again, fairly easy to put together and make it so your customer can customize it for their menus, their names, etc. So this is in 13 baskets right now, and it's been up for 10 months and it's had a total of 156 sales with a monthly revenue of $352 with about 47 sales per month on average. And that's a fairly new listing, so that'll likely just go up and up from there. And lastly, there's this example, which is again a very simple design to make, just a matter of finding some really nice, elegant fonts to use. Here is a couple more images with the sign in situ on a table, on a little teeny tiny canvas holder there or easel, and one of those kind of sign holders as well. So just giving the customer some ideas of different ways that they could display it. And then this one is editable in Canva. So I know a lot of my viewers use Canva, so do I. That's probably the route I would go because I'm more comfortable with that than something like Template, which I haven't used before. So you can absolutely make something like this in Canva and make it editable for your customers. Let me know if you'd like a tutorial on how to do that as well. So this is in 20 plus baskets. Let's have a look at our stats here. It's been up for 10 months and has had over 100 sales so far. It's not letting us know the monthly revenue or monthly sales right now, which sometimes happens with certain listings on EverBee, but a pretty good start for a listing that's only been up for 10 months to already have 100 sales. And again, very, very simple to make. So I think this is a really nice category to get into in the wedding niche for digital products. Just become hyper focused on hyper specific niches within the wedding niche. So let's move on to the next idea. This next product idea is one that I really like and I think it has huge potential. And that is small business price lists and scan to pay templates. Let's have a little scroll through. You can see now there's tons of bestseller and popular now badges on here. And essentially what these are products that small businesses can use to receive payments, to show their price lists, etc. for their customers. So let's have a look at some specific examples so we can see a little more in depth what we're working with here. So here's an example of a price list template. So as you can see, it has a price list here. This would be good for something like a beautician or a lash technician or something like this that has multiple different types of services. And then they have a scan to pay page as well, where essentially there's QR codes that I believe what you have to do to get these payment QR codes is to sign up to a payment processing app like Cash App or Venmo or PayPal, generate the QR code within those apps, and then you can use them to place them inside of Canva templates, etc. Canva also has the ability to generate QR codes, but those are just, I believe, just to link to URLs and websites and not payments. So you could generate some in Canva as well that just take people to your social media or your website. But essentially what these are is just a way to help small businesses get their payments and display their price list. So I'll show you some more examples. In this listing, we have 11 designs in total with different types of price lists and scan to pay models here. And you can edit these in Canva for this listing. And just a couple more examples of how the customers can use these designs and put them in frames, etc., etc. And this is in 20 plus baskets right now. Let's have a look at our stats. It's been up for 31 months, so not a new listing, but it's had 2,400 sales already and is bringing in just under $300 a month in revenue with about 75 sales per month. So I think this business to business model, this making digital products for other business owners, has such huge potential. Let's look at another one. This is the Ultimate Scan to Pay Canva Template Bundle. So as you can see, it just has a bunch of different scan to pay templates that the customer can then choose from and customize themselves. And this is something you could definitely make in Canva in conjunction with creating these QR codes within the apps that the customer uses. And this is in 18 baskets right now. And it's been up for 6 months and has already had over 200 sales, bringing in about $87 a month in revenue with 44 sales per month. So for a very new listing, that's looking pretty good. Here is another one. This is for a farm stand. So I really like this for someone who's selling produce in a market or something like this. They can easily customize this price list and the payment page here and just stick that up on their stand and easily communicate to their customers their prices and then offer them some payment options as well. Let's have a look at the listing photos. Very simple listing for this one. There's only 3 photos. I would recommend putting in the full 10 photos for any of your listings. So I think this could be, beefed up a little bit as far as a listing, but it seems to be doing fine. It's in 20 plus baskets and it's only been up for 1 month. So we're not getting any of the stats here, but just the fact that it is in 20 plus baskets is giving us a sign that this will probably do fairly well as a listing and pretty simple to make something like this in Canva. Here's another example of a scan to pay page, a more simple listing where it's just the scan to pay template. And let's have a look. Oh, they actually get a social media icon bubble included in this listing, but really it's just about the scan to pay template. And you can edit this, I believe, in Canva. Yes, in Canva. So you can change the font, color, text, and move elements around. And again, it looks complicated, but it would be fairly easy to put this together in Canva. This is in 20 plus baskets right now, and it's been up for 15 months, so just over a year, has already had almost 3,000 sales and is bringing in $361 a month and about 140 sales per month. So pretty popular little item. And again, even just this one single page could often just be what someone's looking for without the other elements. So you could just do a single page and list that as your digital product. Here is another one that is a craft show template bundle. So this is a kind of a more complex product that obviously has a few different elements, but I wanted to show you this because I think this small business kind of product is really valuable to look into in terms of success with digital products. So this has a price list, some business cards, a scan to pay, a donate, an invoice, a thank you card, a social media connect with us, and another, social media designed to accept payments as well. And let's have a look. It has about 30 plus templates in this bundle, which is crazy because it's only $1.29. And here's a few examples more close up of some of the things that come in the template. And again, this would be customizable for the customers where they could stick in their own photo, create their own price list, and use their own QR code. And here's a couple more images of what's included in the bundle. So this one's a little more complex to put together, but each page in and of itself isn't that complex. You can again find templates in Canva like this and then tweak them, change the font, change the colors, change the layout to make it how you want it to be for your customers. And boom, I think with a little bit of effort, you could put together a really nice template bundle. So this is in 20 plus baskets. and it's been up for 15 months with a total of 865 sales and over $700 a month in revenue. And again, it hasn't been up that long, only just a bit over a year, and it's bringing in that much already with 191 sales per month. So that tells us this type of product is very much in demand right now on Etsy. The last product we're looking at today is funeral program templates. This is a popular item on Etsy, but I think as far as digital products go, probably one of the less saturated niches to get into. And it is a very serious subject, so if you're a crybaby like me, you might not want to get into this niche. I cried just even looking at these to create this video, so I probably won't be touching this. But what I love about it is it's really helping people when they lose someone they love. They need something like this. So creating a product like this would probably feel really good in the sense that you're actually working to make something that helps people in a time of need. So I kind of love that about this. And if you're really into design, I think it would be fun to really come up with some really beautiful, touching designs to serve your customers. So let's have a look at some examples here. This is it's called Blush Floral Funeral Program. So it has this kind of feminine floral look to it with some flowers in the corners here, a space for a photo in the middle, and the person's name and dates here. Let's have a look at some more of the photos. So on the inside, you have some space for the service information and the obituary and a thank you. And this would be editable. Again, I think they're using template to offer customization to their customers, which I haven't used. But something like this would be a fairly simple design to put together. It's in 6 baskets right now. Let's have a look at the EverBee stats. So it's been up for 57 months, quite a long time, and it's had a total of 800 sales and is still bringing in a monthly revenue of about $150 with about 15 sales per month. Next, we have another one that's quite nice and simple. Kind of what I would say a classic design. This is editable in Canva, so the person would be able to add their own photo and perhaps change the font, etc. Let's have a look at the inside here. So again, we would have the order of service with the obituary, and this is in 20+ baskets right now. This has only been up for 8 months, has already had over 200 sales, and is bringing in $300 a month of revenue with about 90 sales per month. Here's another example. I quite like this one. It has a nice kind of border around it with a photo in an oval frame here. And I believe this would be a Canva editable option. This is in 20+ baskets. It's been up only for 6 months and has already had almost 150 sales with a monthly revenue of just under $240. So pretty good for a pretty new listing. Here's another example. I really love this design as well. There's a lot more design that has gone into this, and let's have a look at some of the other photos. So this one is really fun because it has a lot of space for photos of the person and their family, and let's have a look at some other images. So yeah, it looks like this one is editable in Canva if you recognize those Canva frames. So it makes it really easy for the person to just drag in their favorite photos of their loved one. This is in 20+ baskets right now. It's a little more high ticket, and I think because this is really designed super beautifully. So I think if you are really into graphic design, you could create some really gorgeous templates here that would be the families would probably really appreciate. And this is 11 months it's been up for, and it has 468 total sales with a monthly revenue of $364. Here's another example. I really love this one. It has just a nice simplicity and elegance to it. And here's a look at the inside as well. So again, a fairly simple design to make in something like Canva, and it's in 20+ baskets. It's been up for quite a while, 58 months, and sold over 1,200 times. It's not letting us know the revenue or sales amount here, but it's currently in 20+ baskets. So that lets us know this is a listing that's very much in demand right now. And lastly, here's another example of something with a bit more of design elements to it. We've got this kind of foliage in the corners and at the top in the back with some space for photos on the back as well. Let's have a look at the inside. Again, some of the design elements on the inside as well. And this is in 20+ baskets. And it's been up for 15 months, so just over a year. It's had 500 sales and is bringing in over $300 a month in revenue. So this is very much a niche that I think is underserved and undersaturated on Etsy at the moment. And especially if you have some graphic design skills, I think you could bring something really special and unique to this niche for your customers. So hopefully now you have some ideas to run with, or perhaps some of these examples sparked ideas for other products you'd like to try to sell. Let me know in the comments which of these listings caught your eye, and also if you'd like to see a tutorial on how to make any of these types of designs. If you're enjoying my videos, please be sure to like and subscribe. And if you're looking for more inspiration on creating digital products, check out this video next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.